Take off the mask for a minute. Let's just be honest. Don't we sometimes think Scripture is a little over the top? Think about Genesis 19. Remember when Lot and his wife are fleeing Sodom and Gomorrah? God says, don't look back. And what does Lot's wife do? She looks back, and what happens? She, all of a sudden, just like that, turns into a pillar of salt. Gone. For a glance. All she did was glance. She's gone. You look at Numbers chapter 15. There's a man who's caught picking up sticks on the Sabbath. They bring him before God. They say, what shall we do? What does God say? Stone him. Stone him for picking up sticks. 2 Samuel chapter 6, Uzzah reaches out just to grab the ark, to keep it from falling. And as soon as he touches the ark, what happens to him? Falls over dead on the spot. Just because he touched the ark, he tried to keep it from falling. Story after story in the Old Testament. Like that. And some people think, well, that's just Old Testament. Like God doesn't do that in the New Testament. Well, on the contrary, Acts chapter 5, Ananias and Sapphira, they're giving their offering in the church. They lie, and what happens? They both fall over dead. That'll hurt your attendance the next Sunday. Can you imagine people falling over dead in the offering? Like, it's not a recipe for church growth. So let's just be honest. We read these stories. Don't we think, isn't God overdoing it here? Isn't this overly severe? I mean, yeah, they sinned. Get that. But is that the punishment they deserve? And that question is so key to understanding how we view sin. Because when we think that this kind of punishment is severe, even unjust or not right, we think that because we have a man-centered perspective of sin. We think if people lie to us or disobey us, like we wouldn't say they're worthy of death. Of course not. But this is the key. The key is not how severe the sin is. The key is the one who sinned against. Think about it. You sin against a rock, you're not very guilty. You sin against a man, you're guilty. You sin against an infinitely holy God, you are infinitely guilty.